A Russian Tupolev Tu-22M3, NATO reporting name Backfire, twin-engine supersonic bomber crash-landed in the Atrakhan-Oblast region of southern Russia. Initial reports indicate that the aircraft suffered engine failure. The crew was able to land the aircraft in a field situated in a rural area devoid of high civilian concentration and escape without injuries. The crew's actions are already being hailed as heroic in Russian news outlets and social media. It's important to note that the Russian military stated that the aircraft was unarmed and flying in a routine training mission. Tu-22M3 is a deadly adversary. But it's important to note that this incident can't be seen in isolation and has a much wider connotation. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why Russia's Tupolev Tu-22M3 Backfire bomber's crash indicates deep rot in Russian military. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. Tu-22M is a Cold War-era designed aircraft. The aircraft was first flown on the 30th of August 1969 and was introduced in service in 1972. During the Cold War, Soviet Air Force used the aircraft as a missile carrier for the strategic bombing role and the Soviet naval aviation for long-range maritime anti-shipping role. It's a supersonic and long-range bomber with variable sweep wing design. The bomber can reach speeds of Mach 1.88 and has a range of around 6,800 kilometers, or around 4,225 miles. Russia built about 497 Tu-22M bombers, but currently around 100 are in use. Tu-22M3 is a variant of the Tu-22M. Notably, on the 17th of November 2015, as part of the Russian military intervention in the Syrian civil war, Russia used 12 Tu-22M3 bombers to hit targets in Syria, along with cruise missiles fired from the Mediterranean, and Tu-95 and Tu-160 strategic bombers. The bomber is now going through an extensive upgrade program and is designated as Tu-22M3M. According to Tupolev, the aircraft has been extensively modernized. In the process of the profound upgrade, the Tupolev Tu-22M3M was equipped with the newest onboard digital radio electronic equipment made of domestically manufactured components. In particular, the plane boasts new navigation, communication, and targeting equipment, new engine and fuel consumption control systems, and radio electronic warfare means. The upgraded plane was also equipped with a new information and control system with digital indicators in the cockpit and the function of intellectual support for the crew. Tu-22M3M has more efficient engines that may increase its range further. Also, Tu-22M3M has an aerial refueling boom which will increase its range significantly. At the rollout ceremony on August 16th, Tupolev CEO Alexander Konyakov said, "The first experimental Tupolev Tu-22M3M was created under a large-scale program for upgrading strategic and long-range aircraft Tupolev is working on at the moment. In the next phase, the first batch of Tupolev Tu-22M3 planes currently in service will be upgraded." He said the Defense Ministry will make a decision to upgrade operational planes on the basis of results of joint government certification tests. Konyakov said, "By and large, the upgrade program will ensure the operation of strategic and long-range planes in the long term and effective performance of their tasks." Tu-22M3M is able to carry many different types of weapons, including free-fall bombs, smart bombs, as well as cruise missiles. The two particularly significant weapons are the KH-32 anti-ship missile and Kinzhal hypersonic missile. KH-32 is intended to target U.S. carrier battle groups from long ranges. It weighs close to 5,800 kilograms, or around 12,785 pounds, is 12 meters long with a 1 meter diameter and a 3 meter wingspan. It can be armed with a 500 kilogram conventional warhead or a nuclear warhead. The Tu-22M3M will be able to carry 3 of these missiles. It has a speed of Mach 4.5 and a range of around 1,000 kilometers, or around 620 miles. The excellent range means that Tu-22M3M will be able to launch the missile from a standoff distance. Kinzhal is designed to take out high-value land targets, as well as has an anti-ship capability. The defining features of the missile are its Mach 10 speed and in-flight maneuverability, a combination of which makes it almost immune to current anti-missile defense systems. It has a range of around 3,000 kilometers, or around 1,900 miles, and hence will allow Tu-22M3M to strike land and maritime targets across Europe, the Middle East, the Asia-Pacific, and the North Atlantic regions. Viewers may note that this accident is the second one involving a Tu-22M3 so far in 2019. Earlier this year, on January 22, 2019, a Tu-22M3 crashed near the city of Olengorsk in Russia's Murmansk region. In that accident, 4 people died. Russia reported that the aircraft was not armed at the time of the crash. There have been several reports published related to the cause of the crash, but were very vague. Dangerous weather in the region, which included an Arctic storm, was cited as a possible contributing factor to the fatal accident. These incidents are especially troubling, keeping in mind that the bomber is going through an upgrade program. This news comes only a week after a tragic fire aboard Admiral Kuznetsov killed at least 1, with several injured and unaccounted for. Admiral Kuznetsov is Russia's only aircraft carrier. The vessel has been facing major issues since 2016, and black smoke was seen coming out from it during its engagement in the Syrian conflict. Like the Tu-22M3, Kuznetsov is of the Soviet era and was launched in 1985 and commissioned on December 25, 1990. To know in detail, please check the video on the above card. This is not it. Earlier this month, on the 12th of December 2019, the Moscow Times reported the crash of a Russian Mi-28 two-man gunship helicopter. Mi-28, which has a NATO reporting name Havoc, is also a Soviet-era platform and was first flown on the 10th of November 1982. Russia's Defense Ministry's official statement said that flight took place without ammunition. There are no marks of destruction on the ground. Both pilots were killed. The upgrade plan of Tu-22M3 indicates that Russia wants to continue to fly this aircraft. Currently, it's not clear if Tu-22M3M will be counted as a heavy bomber under the New START Treaty. Viewers may note that as per the New START Treaty, the United States and Russia are each limited to 700 launch platforms, which includes submarine-launched ballistic missiles, SLBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, and heavy bombers. A fleet of upgraded Tu-22M3 seems to give Russia a potent capability on paper, but how dependable they'll be in real battle is anyone's guess. The questions remain about the inherent unreliability of the platform and whether upgrading the aircraft is a wise decision. It's also to be noted that the Tu-22M3 is not a stealth aircraft and has a large radar cross-section, which makes it vulnerable to modern ground-based air defense systems, as well as air-to-air missiles launched from fighter jets. Russia's desire to match the U.S. platform by platform instead of maintaining a credible deterrence only is a difficult task, since its military budget is around 1/10 of the U.S. It remains to be seen how things pan out in the future.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.